And welcome to the talk show, Let the Truth Be Told. I'm your host, Pastor David. And folks, over the weekend, there was a post that was made about the Obamas looking like monkeys in a Lion King skit. We're going to talk about that. We got a couple other things we're going to talk about. Immigrations. So if you ain't got nothing to do, call your friends and let them know. You're listening to Let the Truth Be Told Radio. I'm your host, Pastor David. I'll come on in. And welcome to the talk show, Let the Truth Be Told. I'm your host, Pastor David. And first, let me give all praises to Yahusha and Yahuwah, that's Christ and God in Hebrew. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at this video that everybody is making noise about. But I've been told that it's a remake of a Lion King song, but it depicts the Obamas as monkeys. Well, to the American people and patriots across this country, this is a fake outrage. Here it is in Black History Month. The Democrats have been shown to the American people and across this world that they're nothing but lying, corrupt thieves. They've used the Black community to further their agenda. They've allowed the illegals to get in this country like the Somalians and the migrants that we see today. And yet they've been looking for something to talk about against President Trump because he got this country back on track again. And when I look at this for the first time, I'm going to look at it with everybody else. I know people have seen it already, but I want to watch it for the first time so you can see my reactions to this distraction. To Black Americans across the country, this is no more than another Democratic ploy to make Black people become the support animals to the Democratic Party. They're expecting for Black people to jump up now and start hooping and hollering and ready to go to war because Obama and Big Mike was depicted as monkeys. Let me expound on that for a second because President Obama, ex-President Obama and Michelle Obama, Big Mike Obama, didn't do anything to help the Black community advance. They helped everybody else. His agenda was the LGBT. He pushed that throughout our government. He pushed it in the schools. He helped destroy and bring Black America to where it's at right now. For the lack of knowledge, of people will perish. And that's what's happening to us Black people. We are support animals for everybody else's cause, but here we are at a pinnacle, and our society and our family structure has almost been destroyed. Barack Obama deceived Black people. And now are we supposed to get up in arms and upset because Michelle had Big Mike had a fur coat on and Obama had a fur coat on? To Black Americans, we should be concerned about the economy. We should be concerned about the education that our children are receiving. We should be concerned about the economic status in the Black community. We should be worried about making sure that our community gets the money that it's needed to rebuild itself. We should not be worrying about what Obama looked like in a skit because it's irrelevant. To Black Americans, it's only a distraction. It's the last thing the Democrats can do is try to pull racism so that we can come out and say, oh, they did it to the Obama. Who gives a damn? They didn't do nothing to the Black community but make an ass out of us. That's what they did. And what is the mascot of the Democratic Party? An ass. And in saying that, let me get my team in. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Pastor.
Hey. How y'all doing today?
Good to have y'all, man. You know, first I want to get your thoughts on it. Randy, what did you think about this video? Have you seen it? Tell me what you thought about it.
It was quite funny, actually, but offensive to any degree, no. And here's why. For centuries now, since Black Africans have set foot in the United States, we have always been compared to as some kind of animal. We in ourselves within our own community refer to each other as animals, coons, rats, roaches, and everything else. So when white people do it, then it's an offensive and it's all up in arms and getting mad and everything else. You know, you wasn't mad when Halle Berry played an ape in the Planet of the Apes. So why are you mad now? You know, so I you know, it's whatever to me.
Your thoughts, Andre?
Well, my whole thing is, let's look at the background of how this happened. Was the targeted attack? I don't think so.
You break it up.
Oh, shoot. Give me a second.
Check your connection.
Okay.
You can go ahead. Let me hear you.
Oh, me? Okay, then. Oh, weeba wappa, weeba wappa, weeba wappa, weeba wappa. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. Pastor, they didn't. They just wanted something to argue about. If you look at the full video, it's literally all Democrats depicted in The Lion King, and it had Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as apes. It had Joe Biden as a baboon. It had AOC as a zebra. It had Kamala Harris as a hyena. I mean, you know what? They can laugh at us, but they can't laugh at themselves. And if Black people still consider themselves on the Darwin Award list of how they evolved, then let them. We can't help these people no more, Pastor. And I've had people in my family get me, well, you're over there and they're talking about monkeys. We call each other nigglets on a regular basis. And this is what you upset about. So me personally, I've been in deep thought. And I had to make a video yesterday. And I said, you know what? All you people out there, lackeys, y'all out my life, bounce. I'm over it. This is so stupid. I got a dark sense of humor anyway. I giggle. This is not a new video. It went viral last year, and all of a sudden now I'm supposed to be outraged at the whiteys again. I'm sitting here like, grow up.
And you know what, Lucretia, that's so true, because we can see the country is on the upsurge. I mean, the economics going up, things are getting better, you know, and thanks, Randy. And I just think that, you know, after what we've seen from the Democratic Party with Minnesota and all the corruption there, we know in all the blue states it's the same way. That's why they're fighting, trying to keep the records out. You know, all this stuff about ICE, they're bringing this to a situation to where they're hoping that Black people just jump the hell into the fight and help us to save us so we can continue to destroy your community. You know, and for me, for the lack of knowledge of people are perishing, and that's why Black people, our community is dying, because we refuse to understand that the leadership that's in our community is not doing what they're supposed to be doing for us and our children in the future. So when I hear about these things and I see these things, all these distractions, because I'm not going to toot no horn for President Trump, but these are the facts. He has done a lot for the Black community. The last time he was in office with the prison reform, which we are revisiting now with him to just completely get rid of the bill and restore those people back to be made whole. You know, he's looking for ways to create economic development through the Platinum Plan in the Black community. Black people need to sit down for a second and research what Donald Trump is offering us. And if we take a look at it, what he's offering is a comprehensive plan that's going to put the Black community back in charge of economics, of our schools, create the trades, create small businesses, billions of dollars that would go to our community to get ourselves back on our feet. And I think Black people need to understand that we can't continue to deal with Hakeem Jeffries and all of these people who now are all up in the arms, and he cussing on TV talking about he don't, you know, F this and F that. I mean, it's high time that the Black community stand on our own feet and take a look at what Trump is offering us as a nation, really. And we need to take him up on that. But we first got to get rid of the bad leadership. Your thoughts, Randy, while I cue this tape up.
I agree with you, Pastor. You know, the thing that what most I would say Black Democrats fail to realize is that, you know, economic opportunities, opportunity zones, the prison reforms, which was the First Step Act, all of these things that President Trump put into place in his first term, and he's continuing in his second term. In his second term, it's more expansive. And oh, by the way, the permanent funding for HBCUs. So the expansion of his policies not only extend to Black Americans, but it's expanding to all Americans. Mm-hmm. And you just got to get your head out your ass long enough to realize and say, let me take advantage of this opportunity, because guess what? As immigrants are coming into this country, they apply for these loans, they apply for these things. As of effective March 1st, the Small Business Administration will deny loans to immigrants that are coming to this country, and opening up that opportunity for actual Americans. Because we don't have the capital, and to your point, we don't have the capital to get loans and everything just because it's always shelled out to the immigrants that's coming into this country. So you got the Arabs, you got Asians setting up shops at Black communities and leaving that opportunity for Black Americans in these communities to get those loans because somebody else has came in and took it up. So, you know, kudos to the Trump administration for that move. And I would challenge those folks out there, those entrepreneurs, hey, go to the Small Business Administration website, look it up, and apply and get your money and start your business. Let it be.
Dre, can you hear me, Dre?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you somewhere where you all right now? What's your thoughts on the video? We'll get you caught up right now.
Well, it's unfortunate. There's been a history of that being an offense to Black Americans and other Americans. However, I don't think it was a targeted attack. If we look at the background of what actually happened, it was a whole nother video. And as a result of video auto-populated into the end of it. So that it didn't even make sense in the rest of the video. So what the problem actually is a problem in editing, because they didn't change it after they, you know, auto-played it. It auto-played itself in. They didn't check. They're doing a lot of videos over time. And what people are saying is that, oh, this is Trump himself doing it. He has staff members. They're working around the clock. I'm not sure that this was him. I don't think he would be that careless or reckless. And it just looks like a mistake, and people are playing.
Okay, can you hear you? Okay. So yeah, he's freezing out. Dre, can you hear us? Okay.
Get off of 2G, Dre. It's 2026, man. Come on.
Dre,
well, you know what, Pastor? Let's go ahead and finish that. The video that this still frame was actually on.
Let me show it. Let's go to the video.
That's good, because you're gonna laugh.
That's bad. That's bad. Oh, no, play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying.
They
Oh,
got
they Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe a monkey too. They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the
bro.
king of the jungle.
Oh,
Oh
she a
my
pig.
God.
Oh
That's
my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Is that Harry?
That's
All right,
hair. Look
we
at
all know
Whoopi. She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it.
All right, your thoughts on it. Your thoughts on that, Lucretia. Go ahead now.
Me personally, like I said, I have a dark sense of humor. So if you fall in front of me, I'm gonna laugh, but I'm still gonna help you up. I didn't
Exactly.
find anything offensive about it last year when it went viral. So this is not a new video. It's just making its rounds. And I put it to you this way, something that Herman Cain said to me before he died. It ain't what people call you, it's what you answer to.
That's the truth.
So if people think they monkeys, I don't care. It ain't us at this point.
Dre, are you back with us?
I'm back with you guys.
Okay, so your thoughts on, we just played the video, and if it was done last year, what is the big thing about it this year if it played again? Right, Lucretia? You said it was there last year, right?
It went viral last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're replaying it, why is it all of a sudden a big issue that Trump should to apologize for when it's already been out there before? And that's what I mean about how the Democrats now are just grabbing at anything. This is totally asinine for them to be asking the president for an apology when the fact that this thing was out there last year. And what are your thoughts on that, Dre?
I think that our president is an equal opportunity. I guess I can call him a comedian because there were other elected officials that were in that video depicted as animals as well. I didn't find it offensive. I found it hilarious. I couldn't believe that this was even out there. And, it's 2026 and, a lot of people got really offended because they're pointing back to references that are not even relevant now.
Well, to me, it's like this is a move that they try to make, especially at this particular time because it's Black History Month. And Randy, just like you say, Black people have been a support animal. And if you don't know what a support animal it is, it's like when you need a pet and when you're having some trauma just going on in your life, and then you need a dog or a cat or something that you can hang on and rub on to, and it comforts you during the time of need, and that's the trigger that the Democrats are trying to get Black people all around. Yeah. Oh, man, they had Big Mike. Well, to me, Big Mike looked like she just had a fur coat on. Okay. It looked like Barack had a short fur coat on. So with their face, it didn't look like monkeys to me. But but this is the thing I want Black Americans to realize. Y'all just got to give Barack up. Y'all just got to give him up. He was the worst president of all time for Black people. He introduced homosexuality to our kids. He forced it down our throats. He had more wars under him than Carter had liver pills. More Black men and women were killed under his leadership. He invested into the prison system that got thousands of Black men locked up right now. He didn't free them. He had Joe Biden, who created the crime bill, and Joe didn't even open the gates and let our people out because he knew the bill was unconstitutional. So how can Black people who got nothing from Barack Obama be upset because those two monkeys made an ass out the Black community? Your thoughts, Randy?
Amen. And I would say, unfortunately, for a lot of people who voted for Barack Obama in 2012, not in 2008. 2008, it was like, okay, this is an opportunity for change in this country to move the prism of the country is racist to we got opportunity to elect a black president. Then, but 2012, it was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, we might want to reconsider this. But you still had a lot of black people disenchanted, rather, and just wanted to stick to that and think that these two was actually going to bring change and prosperity to the black communities around the country. And it couldn't be further from the truth. And you're absolutely right. It was an introduction, or I should say a pressing forward of, the LGBTQ agenda, which, by the way, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and he said the LGBTQ agenda is the new Klan agenda. And I was like, huh. He said, look at their tactics, look at the way they do things. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm just throwing that out there.
But it's the same structure.
Yeah, absolutely. And but Barack Obama, I agree with you. Everybody in the United States needs to unhinge themselves from the Obamas and let it go. It's fine. You want to reference to him as a president of our time and all that good stuff, but look at him as some kind of symbol, an important symbol. No.
Lucretia, I know you chewing on it down there.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out why do they think black people always got to be the victims and why we portray our community as victims. I've never gotten that. This is year 2026. I don't know anybody pick cotton. Okay. I don't even know anybody that was a slave master. I have no idea why they think all skin folks are kin folks. That ain't it either. And why we all must think alike. So at this point, I ran across this video yesterday. If you meet a black conservative that is outspoken on what they believe, that you couldn't bend their will if you had to. Those people right there, we don't care about y'all at all. So if you ever meet a black Republican that is outspoken like we are, there's nothing that's going to not only shake our foundation, shake our ideology, or shake our future. So that part over there, I'm not worried. I had to give up my black card 15 years ago. Take it, shove it back into the community. That's why you always hear me shout, everybody, a red, yellow, black, white, gay, or straight. That is the way I'm looking at it. So at this point, I don't do that identity politics. I'm just a woman that's an American.
Dre, your thoughts?
And Lucretia hit it right on the head. And a lot of people are saying that, the last year, Hispanic people have been going through so much because of all the racial profiling. And I was like, how is it racial profiling to enforce our immigration laws? And let's take a look at what Democrats are doing right now to try to hold up the government. They made 10 demands, and a few of those demands are just outlandish and would just slow down immigration enforcement. The first one is that they'll put a ban on enforcement at polling places, churches, and schools. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there was an activist that locked herself in a church for 2 years and just talked trash about the president, trash about the country, and it took her a long time to get deported out of the country. She was a whole activist in that church. So another thing that they want to stop is the actual enforcement. So they want to ban all the stop, questioning, and searching tactics that the ICE agents are using to figure out, are you a citizen in this country? We just had 25 million people come through our country within the last 4 years. And we're not going to question whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. Like, those tactics are within the laws, and the Supreme Court upheld them. They upheld them. They overturned a rogue judge that said that the ICE agents were racially profiling them. And the Supreme Court said, no, they can use those tactics to determine whether someone is a U.S. citizen. So this is exactly what we're seeing with the racial profiling. And people are aligning themselves with these people, not knowing that the people that you put in power are putting them ahead of you in
Yeah.
voting because they want to stay in power.
Well, you know, Dre, you said something that was key, and to the American people, patriots across this country. See, this Trump syndrome thing is real, and people need to understand, especially Black people. You know, the Democrats have always they've been leading against immigrations to open the borders and keep the borders open under the Trump administration. They did it under Joe Biden, and we got all these people here, just like you say, Dre. But at some point in time, you have to look at reality on what it is what it is, that they're lying and they're corrupt thieves, because when Clinton was in office, when Barack Obama was in office, all of them talked about immigrations. And to the American people and patriots across this country, listen to what I'm about to play and listen to what they're saying.
Democrats used to believe that border security and immigration enforcement were just common sense ideas. Don't believe it? Take their word for it.
Americans are right to demand better border security and better enforcement of the immigration laws.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked.
We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders. It has become an extraordinary problem.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. And we must do more to stop it.
Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Any city should listen to the Department of Homeland Security. The city made a mistake not to deport someone that the federal government strongly felt should be deported.
Just because your child gets across the border, that doesn't mean the child gets to stay.
We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration.
People say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants from coming here? And the number one answer we give is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
Open borders. You're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Our nation, like all nations, has the right and obligation to control its borders, and no matter how decent they are, no matter their reasons, the 11 million who broke these laws should be held accountable.
For decades, these weren't controversial or radical ideas. The only thing that changed is them.
All right, Randy, you first. What's your thoughts about that?
It's a hypocrisy on full display, you know. And the only reason why the Democrats are so pushing for illegal immigrants to stay in this country now is because they want replacement population migration against the Black communities. And the Black community is like, oh, well, you know, they're Black and brown, you know, we got to take care of them too, and all this. It's like, yeah, but they're gonna exterminate you. Once you know you miss the missions accomplished, they're going to exterminate you, get you out of the way, and they're going to take over your communities. And now they're going to say the Black and brown who. So at the end of the day, we all know that we have immigration laws. We all know that no country in the world allows just for a porous border and let anybody come into the country. And I challenge people, think about this on a micro scale. Would you just let a random stranger come into your house, eat up your food, sleep in your bed and all this stuff, and you say, oh, you're welcome, you know, come on in, you know, and I'll just work extra hard. I'll pay more taxes and everything else, and I will let, you know, your criminality affect me. Sure, come on in. No one would do that. So I wish people would just stop with the BS.
Lucretia, your thought?
John Podesta, WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, enough of the Black people. If they start complaining, we'll put $20 more in their welfare. We need to go ahead and have a taco bowl because that is the new voting base. Black people, we already got you hook, line, and sinker. You don't mean anything. Go ahead and put you back under our foot until next election season. But we got an open border, and we need all of these new voters in here to repopulate the United States because y'all done murdered so many babies.
That's right. Dre, your thoughts on that?
Well, these newcomers need to take a a look at what we've experienced. A lot of big talk and no results. And they think that they're in a better situation than we'll ever be, and that they'll be put on some kind of pedestal and treated differently. They're going to find out really quickly, once they don't have a use, that they're going to get laid to the wayside, just like they tried to do with Black Americans. Now, what we're going to see, what we've seen with the videos, is that it depends on who is funding these campaigns, how they are going to direct their policies. We saw that the Democrats were all for shutting down the border just in the 90s, just 30 years ago. And now we're in a situation where they're just like on a whole different plane. So what changed? It changed who's funding it. So until we get the money out of politics, we're going to see a lot of the same garbage, because nobody right now wants to go out on a limb and be the one to go out there, get a bad, what they would deem a bad vote on immigration. That's why you don't see any Democrats thinking really independently other than John Fetterman. Can you name any other Democrats that have done anything or spoken out against how we should enforce our immigration laws? No, you cannot. So until we get politicians that are going to have a spine and not beholden to these big donors, then you're going to continue to see the same thing. And Americans need to continue to vote them out. They need to wake up and actually pressure these elected officials with their terms in office.
That's the reason why.
I'm shocked that John Fetterman, they're going to kick him out of the Democratic Party, or they're going to put him back in the crazy house again.
Yes,
I don't understand how John Fetterman is the reason voice on the Democratic side, and I have a feeling he's going to switch. They're going to either kick him out or and blackball him like they did a whole bunch of other people, and he's going to jump over here to the conservative side or turn independent.
Well, you know, guys, I wanted the American people and patriots across this country, especially Black Americans, to hear what the Democratic leadership said from Bill Clinton days all the way back up to now. They were so concerned about the border. Barack Obama, your boy, used Tom Homan to get millions out. And now here they are. After speaking of such a nature, you would think they would be the first people in the country to say, no, it's illegal to have the borders open and paying all these people, because that's what they said under their administration that they did. So why is it now that they're saying open the borders? And the reason why is just like we all agree upon, this is replacement migration. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's just like it hasn't got to a place in Chicago with a village idiot, Brandon Johnson, that's completely lost his mind. He just signed an executive order saying that, you know, that they can arrest ICE or they want to impede ICE. And but this is what the police chief said. Chicago, it's mutiny on the bounty right now for you, Brandon. I know you're gonna slip and watch the show, but they got you. You out of there, pal. You have no control. The police that you hated, that you said that you were going to defund, and when he got into office, he defunded the police after he lied and said he wouldn't. I mean, he talked with a forked tongue. That's what the Indians he speak with a forked tongue. But he signed this executive order, and this is what the superintendent of Chicago Police had to say about that.
Questions. We do not interfere with the duties and responsibilities of federal agents. We don't have to agree with it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to agree with it. We do not interfere with their orders. And when they go out to carry out their orders, they will do that the way that they're trained to do it and their understanding of what it is they have to do. CPD will not arrest and cannot arrest federal agents because someone deems what they're doing is illegal or unlawful. Their rules of engagement are different from CPD and other local law enforcement agents. If for any reason a crime is being committed, an ICE agent, state, local police officers, if it involves law enforcement, we are going to show up.
Smash the.
What's your thoughts on that, Lucretia?
It's a laughing matter. You hear all of these governors and you commissioners and mayors saying that we're gonna arrest ICE. Okay, try that. I want to see it. Stop running off at your lips, going out there and try to arrest ICE, and I'm gonna sit here and shout World Star because it's gonna be hilarious when they slam your forehead against the concrete.
Your thoughts, Randy?
I was at which would say a miniature neighborhood meeting last week. And I think I talked about this already, but I'll bring it up again. And our police chief here in Austin, Lisa Davis, she said on the Zoom call, because she dialed in over Zoom, she said, because of the concerns of ICE being in Austin and everything else, she said ICE is not law enforcement. My eyes bucked open. I was like, really? Did you just say that to these people? And it was regurgitated again at a later town hall that they're under this impression that ICE is not law enforcement officers, but they don't. They like you said, Pastor, they speak with a split tongue, a forked tongue. They say ICE is not law enforcement officers, but they acknowledge that they have what's called an administrative warrant or a judicial warrant that will go after people that are, in that system, in that database, and the local law enforcement has to assist them to some degree. Here in Texas, you have to assist them. So to enforce that. So if they're not law enforcement officers, then why is there a mandate that you have to assist these ICE officers when they're executing an administrative or a judicial warrant?
Can you hear Dre? Can you respond?
Yes. So, they cannot impede ICE agents. And that's one of the things that the Democrats want to change. They're trying to defund ICE. They're trying to restructure what ICE can do. But remember, why they put ICE together in the first place was to deal with interior enforcement. A lot of people give Barack Obama all this credit about being the deporter in chief, but he deported people from the border. He didn't really go into the interior. What we're seeing with this type of enforcement is like none that we've really seen in history. So people, go out of their way to try to not give Trump any credit. But what we've been doing with our enforcement is just amazing. Now, the hard part about it is not a lot of people find it easy to watch someone being deported back to their country. But just because you're being deported back to your country is not a death sentence. Like we had a rapper that had all these problems in the United States. He ended up being deported back to his country, right? After having life of crime and all this stuff. He goes back to his country, improves himself, improves his country, and comes back to America as a diplomat.
Oh, so, you're talking about Shine. You're talking about Shine with P. Diddy. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
go ahead, Dre.
These are examples that are not being played in the media. Automatically, if they're deported, it's a death sentence. It's not a death sentence. It's not the worst thing that can happen. And if you're here illegally, if you were to rob a bank for the rest of your life, if you get away with it, you're gonna have to look over your shoulder to make sure no one is coming to get you. But in the back of your mind, you should know that you might get caught one day. But these people have gotten so comfortable because they've been here for decades that they're never going to get caught, and the enforcement is not going to happen until Donald J. Trump came into office in this last election and has changed the game.
Yes.
And I have a question for you, Andre, and Randy. We see it every day. We see it on video. And Pastor, you can't keep shouting you hate America, but when it's time for you to go home, you clinging to the door so you don't have to leave. So that's what I don't understand. Can y'all explain that one to me?
I'll get Randy. You want to take it first? Go ahead and take it first.
When people shout that they hate America and everything else, I always say, there's thousands of flights that leave the country every day to another country of their choosing. Now you could pick any place. You could roll out the map on your wall and throw a dart and pick any place in the world you can go to. And if you think that it's a better place than the United States, by all means, go there. And if it's not a better place than the United States, then do your due diligence into improving that country and making it the kind of country that you want it to be. That's how I look at it. Otherwise, people just be talking crap and talking crazy. And I just be like, I can't take you seriously when you say that kind of stupidity. Dre?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys watched Super Bowl. I watched it for educational purposes. I took Spanish in college, but I couldn't understand the thing because if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm sitting there wondering why we're politicizing a game where it's supposed to be America's pastime. We're supposed to enjoy this sport and have it be an American event. But at this event, what I saw was a lot of foreign flags being flown next to the American flag. And just like Lucretia was saying, if they love this country so much, when they're being sent back to their country, they're not clinging on to that flag. They're not waving that flag then. They're not waving that flag then. So while they're here, they have all these things to say because of our history of being so welcoming to all these different countries. People have assumed that America is supposed to just be American and a melting pot for all these different countries to come, never assimilate, talk all this trash about the country, and fly all these flags. But if you were to go back to our founding fathers, they wouldn't have condoned this. This wouldn't have been their vision of what America is going to be. But what we've created are all these factions, all these little micro factions that are going to lead to the demise of the United States if we allow people to continue not to assimilate.
Well, you know, that's the thing that bothers me about this whole migrant thing and everybody else that came to the country. See, because they made black people assimilate as if they were white. We had the standard was set. And I said it on one of the shows where black men was getting their hair straightened out, and they were, you know, trying to look and emulate how white people talked and how they created a society. I mean, our race did what they could to assimilate, but these other people who have come here to replace us, they let them open shop just like they did in their whole country. And so just like you was talking about Shine, went somewhere and became a diplomat. Well, that's how it should be. If you're here illegal, go back to your own country and create the wealth like you was getting it here. But you hate the country so much, but you want our assets to live and maintain yourself and put nothing back in it. And that's a huge problem for me because if you came here illegally, you've already broken the law. And just like the police chief said, he said, we can't arrest federal officers. You can't.
Yep.
So this whole go ahead, Randy.
I was like, you're absolutely right. You can't. And you know, on that, you know, you're sitting here coming to our country. You want to utilize our resources and everything else, but you still want to fly your foreign nation flag. You still want to speak their language and everything else. You don't want to assimilate, and that's the problem with foreigners in the United States now is that they don't want to assimilate to the American culture, but they want to utilize our freebies and everything else. I'm all for the idea of if you come to the country, come to the United States, because you have to do this in other countries, by the way.
Yes.
You come there, you have to assimilate or you will be deported just on those grounds alone because they don't want what's called a tainted culture, you know, coming into, you know, in their country. So I'm all for that. Like you come here, if I go outside, if I drive down the street and I see you got a Mexican flag, a Chinese flag or whatever flag hanging in your window, hanging in your window or hanging off your balcony or whatever, knock on the door, pack your shit, let's go.
I did, you know, I did it in Inglewood. I did it in Inglewood a couple summers ago. This is what the Village Idiot wrote.
In a new executive order signed today called ICE on Notice, federal agents could be criminally charged if they violate the local or state law in the future or in the past, like during Operation Midway Blitz. It starts with the Chicago Police Department, who would document evidence, preserve it, and talk with federal supervising officers on scene. Chicago police would take all of this to the mayor.
It will give a directive from my office to ensure that we're collecting evidence, that we're providing medical care on scenes, but also making sure that that evidence is turned over for prosecution.
So not only is it...
All right, you guys, what your thoughts, Lucretia, on this?
That's it. He is a laughing joke. I mean, this dude here. But go ahead. Listen, Brandon and your henchmen's in Chicago. I want to see you do the first arrest, please, because it's gonna go viral. Please do the first arrest. And if you think you're gonna talk to ICE supervisors, they're gonna laugh at you and go ahead and arrest these people anyway. So Brandon Johnson is nothing but a pipe dream. He's nothing but a scam artist. He's nothing but a corrupt, crooked politician that his time is going to go to the wayside. So the big thing up there right now in Chicago is Flip Chicago Red. That is building steam fast. So a whole bunch of people, broke people, black people, Hispanic people that are American citizens, they're jumping on the bandwagon of Flip Chicago Red.
Now I have to go ahead on and intervene on that. The truth about Chicago Flip Red, they can't turn Chicago red. They don't have the people. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't think anybody should at this point. I think Chicago need to burn.
Listen to what I'm saying, because I have a problem with organizations who build a name for themselves and just get money, beg for money. That's what they do. They're not change. They can't change no legislation. They don't have no people to write it.
When you have, hold up, Pastor, because now you're stepping on regular folks like us. That's not an organization. That's a regular black folks.
Listen to what I'm saying closely, okay? All right. I know these organizations well. They can't get nobody to vote because ain't nobody trusting them. I'm gonna be honest with you. They got 3 people in the organization. They have no staff. They have nothing. They go and make noise. They got famous for going to downtown, to City Hall, screaming and hollering at Brandon Johnson. So when you say these organizations, that's just a buzz name. But in the community, but no, listen to what I'm saying. They're a mouthpiece. That's it. And in the community, there is a very much disdain for Danielle Carter and the rest of those people who are begging for money and not being able or capable of doing anything. Go ahead.
The big black woman that I'm seeing, the black man that I'm seeing, stop putting these people on a pedestal or in a position that they didn't ask. They got up off their tails. They got up off the stoops. They got up out of the south side of Chicago. These are the same people that for the years been going to commissioners meeting and busting these people's heads to the white meat, are being ignored and their communities being ignored. They're not an organization. They are grassroots activists that finally band together and ain't finna put up with y'all crap no more. They don't care if you're a politician. Them people are regular human beings and regular Chicagoans. Stop doing that to people just because they band together and have an organization. Stop clowning on these people. They are doing something that most black people never will, especially in Chicago. It's not an organization.
And Pastor Laurie,
let me say the groundwork right quick. Lucretia, you're in Georgia, and I'm gonna say this and be honest with you. You're in Georgia, and all you see is what you see, but you don't see behind the scenes. I'm in Chicago. I'm on the ground. I'm from the community. I know the people, and they're not who they say they are. They're grifters, and all they do is get money and make a lot of noise. That's the bottom line. And
that's what it means. You make noise.
But you ain't taking no action. You don't have the power to take action.
That's what they said about people like us. We don't have the power. We only rattle noises.
It's the same thing back. I don't know if y'all remember, Pastor Larry, I know you remember, because this was out of Chicago. New Era Chicago, and New Era Detroit, New Era Michigan. You know, those organizations, they came together. They created an organization. And they, like to Lucretia's point, they was grassroots, yes, but they saw an opportunity to take advantage of a situation that was going on in those communities, and they made money off of it. And then, so you know, poof, they were gone. They were gone. And so, but I would say to these organizations, to both of your points, I would say, you know, to organizations that want to actually see effective change, You get people together and you make them run. You have them run for office.
Exactly.
You fundraise for them. You, instead of saying that, oh, you know, we need money for our organization. No, we need money for these candidates that we're going to replace these jokers with. That's going to do our will. That's how you do that. And that's why
I have one thing. I think that these are all valid points. I think that we need different groups, different representation to like work towards a common goal. Not everyone's going to have a super organization. Not everyone's going to have all the political clout. But if we can get people that are going to get people fired up and possibly out to the polls, that'd be great. And Danielle Carter has stated that she's going to run for office. Now, she hasn't, said exactly for which office, but she said that she's going to do that. So I do think that there's some validity to some of the things that they're doing. Not everything that they're doing, everybody's going to agree with. Their tactics may be different, but I think that we need people with different tactics, just like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Nick, all these different groups in the 60s. They didn't all ideologically agree, but they worked towards the same goal. So I think that
I agree with you, Dre.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm here on the ground, and it's just like the Republican Party here in Chicago. All the leaders, Black Republican leaders, don't do nothing for the community. They have an attitude. They're really, some of them are Democrats in disguise, basically.
Right.
So when you look at the dynamics of what I'm looking at, and I'm running for mayor of 2027, I'm gonna win. I don't care who get in the race, because my record speaks for itself of taking action and doing things and making things different. Okay, I don't have a problem with anybody getting in the race, because it ain't about the money for me. That's why you don't see me begging for money. You don't see me asking people for their swipe. You're not going to sit down there in front of Brandon Johnson screaming and hollering, because I'm behind the scenes already organizing organizations and building from behind the scenes. So I don't have to do that. But when I see organizations who could make an impact, but they're in it for the money, then I don't want to deal with that. That's just the bottom line. That's where I'm at. And they make the noise all across there, but at the end of the day, when it's come time to do something, they won't have nothing to invest into the community but themselves, because they don't bring nothing to the table but noise.
Okay. I'll agree to disagree there, but I did want to respond to your comment about your question about Brandon Johnson and what he's doing with the executive order that he's writing. I think that executive order is more of a revenge tour than anything else, because it can't do anything now. They're just collecting the data now, so that if we get, heaven forbid, a Newsom president, then what they're going to do, they're going to utilize the federal executive branch to totally change what ICE is doing, totally change the law with if we get a blue wave in 2026, heaven forbid, that they'll be able to change the law so that they can charge ICE. So this is a move for the future, and we need to pay attention to it. This is why these midterm elections are so important, because if we get a lot of the wrong people in ICE in office that have a grudge against ICE, they're going to have to get some sort of presidential pardon from the president, because states are already trying to collect data, trying to make a database of what they're doing so they could charge them in the future. Did you hear what he said? Past, present, and future.
Yes. Now, guys, I got a question. The Save America Act, and I'm gonna find a clip to play that I downloaded today. This act is regarding voting, meaning you have to have an ID, you have to be a citizen to vote, all of these things. Your thoughts on that, Lucretia, about, and the Democrats are actually kicking against it.
Well, they don't think y'all can actually get out there and know what a voter ID is. So there it is. So if you allow them to do that, it's like, dude, you got to have ID to get Newports. But it's neither here nor there because that's so beneath me. That's why I said y'all, okay? Because you ain't finna look at me and say, "Poor little black girl, you don't have to have no IDs. We just knows you can't get it." So to even have a conversation about the SAVE Act when it's common sense that you must have an ID in the United States to breathe, I mean, pish posh. They making black people sound stupid again. So I don't even put myself in that boat no more because it don't make no sense to me. Why you even got a question, even forming your lips saying, well, you know, black people don't know how to read right now. They don't know how to go get no IDs and they gonna be suppressed. Like I said, y'all black people out there, they talking to y'all, not me. I got an ID in there in my pocketbook. Every time I go to the airport, I gotta produce it. When I go buy my Newports, I gotta produce it. When I go to the liquor store, I gotta produce it. But all of a sudden, because I want to vote in an election, I don't know how to read and the right massa. So pish posh on that.
Your thoughts on it, Randy?
I would say
you up. Go ahead.
You know, Sunny hosted, and she posted a clip saying that exact same thing what Lucretia's saying, that, you know, black people can't get IDs. Here's my voter registration card. Here's my passport card. Here's my VA card. Here's my military ID card. Here's my gun license. And here's my driver's license. All in which are all acceptable forms of ID to go vote. So I don't understand the idea that we can't, black people particularly, not Asians, not Samoans, not, you know, Russians that live in the United States, you know, that are citizens. We're the only demographic in the entire country, the only ethnicity in the entire country that is too ignorant or too dumb or too poor to get some kind of identification. It is so absurd and so offensive that I just want to, when I see these people and they say that stuff, I just want to slap the living hell out of them, because this is like, are you that dumb? Like, seriously, let me slap some sense into you, because it's just retarded to me. And yes, I said retarded. I don't care if you're offended.
And it's sad that they always go after at black people. And then you have the overseers saying, well, y'all done got off the plantation and you have betrayed your race and this, because we're smarter than to read through all the lies and the BS that the Democratic Party always portray us as poor, ignorant, still cotton pickers, and ain't gonna never make it in life. So it's like we are back in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s again. And these older black people that they are portraying online, it's like you wasted your life.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to go get an ID and vote.
Yep.
And absolutely.
It's not even the fact that they don't know how to do it. It's the presumption that they don't have it already. And so a person goes into cognitive dissonance and say, "You're right. I can't vote because I don't have an ID." And it's like, well, you just drove over here.
Exactly.
Like, you was using a car. Like, do you not have a driver's license? Oh yeah, I got a driver's license. Then you can go vote if you register to vote.
But how much sense does it make for the Democrat Party, and over 81% of the people that are Democrat are saying, yes, you should have a license. Yes, you should prove your citizenship in order to vote. So that's a battle that they're going to lose, and that should be the end of them. Now, folks, I got one more clip to play. We can get out of here. Listen, you know Jasmine Crockett down there in your area, Randy, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now, all the stuff that I've seen her do when she was in her place, she acted so ugly and talking smack. But listen to what she's saying now, guys. I just can't believe it. I got this. This is her whole mission right now.
Congressman, I can't let you go. I have to ask this question because you laid out a really, really good point there. Do you think Republicans, when you get to a general election, can be convinced that you are the representative they need in Washington?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. That's about the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Now, Michael, you can maybe talk about this a little bit more, because I think that Democrats have a perception of what Republicans want. And I think that you know what the real is. I think that Republicans aren't looking for somebody that is Republican light. They can just go and get the real thing.
You are stupid.
What they want is somebody that they know who they are.
Baby, because these people, they are crazy, because they always talk about how Christian they is.
So I have text messages from Republicans that have made it clear that if there is a certain person that ends up making it through, they are absolutely voting for me because they know who I am.
Because they know who I am.
Yeah, we know.
What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the up, because I'm ready to get on with it.
And so that's why we can understand when Republicans went out and voted for a less than perfect candidate in Donald Trump. They don't seek perfection, whereas Democrats typically do.
Donald Trump.
They don't seek perfection, whereas Democrats typically do.
And Donald Trump had so badly botched the COVID pandemics.
And so while I may not be their perfect candidate, they know that I know the issues. They know that I know how to work across the aisle when necessary. And they also know that I don't take any mess. And when you are Texas, then it's a matter of you don't mess with Texas.
Just dumb as a bucket of shrimp.
I hate her.
Wait a minute. What happened? It sounds like she's. Hold up. Wait a minute. She said that the Republicans are going to vote for her because they know she is. What, LaQuisha? I don't understand.
2 weeks ago, she was asked the question, would she reach across the aisle when she get out there into the greater Texas of it all? You know, how is she going to convince the Republicans out there to vote for her? I'm not worried about them. They're low IQ. You can't, girl, you ain't walking none of that back. Take them fake eyelashes off of number one. They look like critters on her forehead. But I don't like her. I don't like the Tom. Number one, this is why I don't like her. She's trying to be too hoodish and woodish, too hood when you was raised in a gated community in a private school. She's one of those people that belong on that side of the track. But just because she see it over there and she thinks she can sneak over here to the hood side, that, you know, she dropped her dialect, if she dropped the way she walk and talk and how her bouginess was actually raised, that she's going to get in with Flynn. That don't work. She is faker than fake. She's loudmouth and she has bashed 80% of Texans. So good luck. Go to the wayside and write a book.
Randy, your thoughts. You write down there. Tell me what the people are thinking about her.
You know, so it's a mixed bag. On the black, even in the black community, you know, talking to a lot of black folks, the black women love Jasmine Crockett. A lot of them, they love her, and they're like, yeah, this is the kind of heat that we need to bring, you know, in politics and stuff like that. The black men, they're like, man, hell no. You know, so they do not like her. And it's not only because she's a loudmouth and she's crazy. What people forget, Texas is the South, right? And you have that mentality of women should be seen and not heard to a degree, right? That's just a Southern thing. And they if they are speaking, they need to be articulate, they need to be intelligent, they need to be actually bringing something to the table. That's the thing. But women drive Texas politics here. And so if there's a woman in Texas politics and they are of stature, that's because they know what the hell they're doing and they know what they're talking about. And so for Jasmine Crockett, she doesn't bring that to the table. She just brings the poking the bear and name calling, and she's not taken seriously. You got Wesley Hunt, black man, running for Senate on the Republican side. You got John Cornyn. You got Ken Paxton. You have a host of others, because we have 11 people in the U.S. Senate race in Texas on the Republican side, and you have a handful on the Democrat side running for Senate. If she thinks for one iota of a second that there's going to be a Republican base of any caliber, of any seriousness, that's going to vote for her, she is sadly mistaken.
Well, you know, it sounds like that she done changed the whole thing now. Same thing with Dalton Mayor ex-mayor Tiffany Henyard, who now all of a sudden are telling all the Democrats secrets about what they've done and how they care about themselves. So the people of Texas need to be aware of Ms. Crockett, that this is the thing. If she was rebuilding her community, helping her constituents, and creating economic development for the future, then she would have something to step into the Republican side and say, hey, I've already done these things as a Democrat. But she's, like you said, Randy, she has been using identity politics, poke the bear, steal when you can, and never do nothing but always talk crap, man.
Yeah.
I think the American people have seen through this type of political rhetoric, and she needs to just go ahead on and bow down and become a common person. But she's still going to have to explain why she went from $180,000 salary to almost $10 or $15 million in about. So
Who?
yeah,
Her? She
Yes.
got that paid. Oh wow.
So
In the wrong job.
they're all taking the same. I'm telling you, Democratic leadership have been doing both sides, but I think the Democrats have been doing it to the point where it made it so blatant that you're still in the money because your salary cannot reflect that type of wealth in such a short period of time. Folks, the clock on the wall say we got out of here. Creasy, your last words.
Y'all just do good, be good, and make good for the rest of the week. And remember, Jesus is the reason for every season.
Hey, Randy, your thoughts?
Hey, I appreciate the discussion today. Very great discussion. And folks, don't forget to follow me on all socials at rperm, and you can visit my website at rperm.com, and I'll catch y'all when I catch you.
And you guys, we might do it again Wednesday. I'll send out a text. We'll talk. Thank you for coming on the show. And folks, I want to thank you for tuning in today. It's a common sense thing that we have to do now. These are my last words to the American people and patriots across this country. First of all, we need to see that the rhetoric that is going on with President Trump in the video was only a distraction by the Democratic Party. They've gotten caught with their hand in the cookie jar, stealing from this country and taxpayers and bringing the illegals in here to well over 20-some million people that are undocumented. They continue to support the illegal fact of breaking the law in front of our face, like Brandon Johnson signing executive orders that don't mean nothing. They're just grandstanding. But let me tell the American people this. As these people do this grandstanding, they're still stealing money out the back door through different programs. They continue to act like it's such a bad thing what Trump is doing, and he's trying to save this country. So to the American people and patriots across this country, let us stay firm and let us stay the course. Our country is being revitalized. Let us be good citizens, and let us band together to make sure that we can get all the illegals out of our community so we can make this country great again. God bless you.